Alright everybody, I just wanted to update this video up front. Actually, this is the day after I made the video you're about to watch. Needed to clarify a few things. First of all, this is a 2009 Victory Vision. Looking at the manual, it looks like 2008 and 2009 had a similar setup for the neutral switch. Looks like in 2010 it changed. And looking at the parts manuals, it looks like it may have changed again in 2011. I'm not real sure. I just know that it has different parts numbers. And when you search for those individual parts numbers, it doesn't cross-reference to any of the other years. So just wanted to clarify that. Another thing I want to point out in all this also is that at the end of the video I state that it's probably the neutral switch behind the belt cover. Anyway, what I'm not real sure of at this point is, could it possibly be the solenoid? I'm not ruling that out yet, but I really don't feel like tearing into it to replace the solenoid. Later on, when I've got a little more time than I do right now, I may give that a shot. But that's always a possibility. That it's working fine since the clutch switch read good for the resistance test. So, you know, that could possibly be one thing that could be causing this problem. So just wanted to point that out. So when you watch this, leave some feedback if you want to. I don't really have a whole lot to subscribe to, otherwise I would say to do that. But anyway, I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Alright, I was going to try to make a little bit of a video on repairing a bike that won't start whenever you push the start button, even if you pull in the clutch. We're going to see what we can do about this. Now watch it start, but I don't get to ride as much as I would like to. The battery's probably a little bit low, but we're going to go ahead. Yeah, you see the battery says it's low, but it should click if it's going to work. We're in neutral. Oh, the relay clicked and I heard for the headlight to come on. I'm trying to record this with the holding a telephone. Ain't too hot. We'll find a place to put the phone. We'll hold the clutch in. Push start button. Never mind the crank. Well, that was a shocker. The thing wouldn't crank the other day when I tried it. The only thing I've really done so far is wiggled the connector down behind the battery that goes to the relay. Assuming that there's probably a problem down there, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get to that, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Alright, this is where I'm starting at, is down here at the solenoid connection. These bikes have a solenoid switch that sits just behind the battery before it goes to the starter. The connector is right here. The solenoid is right here. You can see the red boot on the positive cable. I'm going to open that up and kind of show you how the connectors are arranged and what they are, and I'll get back to you in just a minute. Alright, if you can see how I've got this arranged here, that connector's been disconnected. The clip for it is down here on the very bottom, and you notice I've got a paper clip sticking in the left socket. That's the ground lead, or where the ground is coming back from the bike, either from the clutch switch or from the neutral switch. I've got a negative lead off my meter just behind this bolt here for ground. I'm going to touch my red lead down here. You'll see that it goes to 0, indicating that we do have a good ground all the way up here to the wire going to the solenoid. Now, my bike does not start unless I hold the clutch in, so this is dumbfounding me why I've got such a good ground, but yet the bike will not start. But it is what it is. We're going to keep going. I just wanted to show you that. The other lead over here, I'll come back and show you what it is. The other socket on that terminal, rather. Alright, just so everybody knows what it sounds like, I've got the solenoid disconnected, just so you know that it's much louder when it clicks than it is whenever you hear the relay for the headlight clicking on. I've got it disconnected. I won't let you hear it. You notice that's much louder than the little subtle click that you'll hear whenever you press the start switch and the headlight comes on, but nothing happens with the starter. Just to let you know that all along it has not been my solenoid still engaging but not working. So the problem here is something in the wiring, not getting a good ground path up to that connector going to the this first solenoid in the start circuit. Anyway, let me get all this put back together. Alright, the next step in this process is try to get all the contacts cleaned up on everything that has to do with the starting the bike. I'd already cleaned up the clutch contacts several months ago. This is the on-off switch. They're cleaned up, I'll lubricate them and put them back together, then do the start button. Well, this is the start switch before any cleaning starts. Looks kind of like it's had a little bit of action scene with all the black on the contacts. We'll see what we can do with it. Alright, got it cleaned up. Looks a lot better. The problem is I've lost the part now. There's a little white circular spacer that goes on that white part. Hopefully I can find it and won't have to implement or create something to use. But anyway, cleaned up, looks better. I'll put some bulb grease on it and be happy. Alright, even though my gear position switch passed the continuity test, I just did an all-out, let's just try this and see if it'll work. You notice I've got the paper clip stuck into the connector that comes from the gear selector switch, the gear shift indicator switch, whatever you want to call it. Then I come over and I've got it tied to ground, so that now it's basically pretending that it is the neutral switch indicating neutral position to a good ground. So now if we come up, turn the bike on, neutral, no clutch. Fires right up. So the next step will be for me to pull that neutral switch out, if I can get to it, and see if we can figure out what's going on with it. Well, that pretty much sums it up. I never did find the little white piece that I saw fall. For all I know, it was a rock. I just caught a little round something about the size of a BB that fell while I was trying to clean the contacts on the start switch. Don't know where it is, don't know what it is. It fit back in. Works fine. Anyway, I didn't feel like taking the exhaust off the bike, so we'll just play like it never happened, and we'll continue to use the clutch to start it. Everything seems to be working. Again, thanks to the innovation of the cell phone and having to squeeze the clutch and use one hand to push the button, you get a swing shot. And that has it. Thank you for watching another episode of Redneck Motorcycle Repair. Catch you later. Bye.